Hello everyone, this is part 2 of the inventory and search commands. In the last video, I've already went through all the changes that you need to know. That all I did, and how the search command actually works, and the method from the user schema. Now, there's going to be a lot of explaining. It's going to probably be confusing for this next part, so try and try and keep up, I guess. So the inventory command is around, it's a lot, but it's necessary. We don't need this. It will require you to, I don't know. It's a lot, but I will try to make it as simple as possible. So first off, what you want to do is module that exports the info command, the info section. I mean, so name, inventory, you already know this. Description, you already know that. Type, chat input, you know that. Options. Just make sure it's open as an array. Put a bracket in there. Name player, application and command type user, description, the player inventory you want to check. This will just get this I will explain later. Now, the execute command. I had to go through this all myself because I had to implement pagination, or I don't know how you say it. There is a library in Node.js that is npm install pagination or something, but I don't know if it works right now for version 14 or whatever. But it's not too reliable anyways. So I made my own, and I will show it in here once I explain it. And I also wanted to be able to switch between different categories. So between different static items between these two. So you will see all the items from this category only, and all the items from this category only. I will also go into Discord and show you eventually. Well, actually, I'll show you now just to show you how it works. Alright, so here's the server. I have everything else here, but yeah, so I decided to put in a server just so it's just me. But yes, now that's what it looks like. It looks a lot like Dang Memer, since it's that's what people want to see. They want to see like a minimum amount to put in the embed. They wanted categories, and someone wanted to see about how to switch between different embeds to make like pages. So pretty much, I should probably turn the bot on. Alright, everything that's loaded. Now, / inventory, me. This is my inventory. I want to pick materials. There we go. Mushroom. Next page. It freaking bugs out sometimes, but it's whatever. There's rock. Go back. You'll see mushroom. Go back. Of course, it's going to do it again, but there's rock. Go forward. God damn it. Just let me see it. There, blue mountain flower, mushroom. Fuck you. Rock. Blue mountain flower. God fucking. Okay, come on. Materials. Blue mountain flower. Mushroom. Rock. Blue mountain flower. That was supposed to be mushroom, but whatever. Rock. Mushroom. Then you go back, blue mountain flower, go back, rock, go forward, blue mushroom. Yeah, you get the point. It switches between pages. Now, If we go to MISC, that would go to key. There's nothing you can do. It would just go there. Then we would just do this again. It's a 30-second cooldown, so a 30-second timer on this collection, so or collector. But yeah, again, you can't do anything there. You can go back. It'll go back to the first page. Go back through here. Nothing. Go back here. Goes back to the first page. Doesn't matter. It works. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and that's what I'll be showing you how to do, and you'll be able to make it exactly like that. But there's also that other feature. Now this won't give anything, but it will say this user doesn't have any data. However, I will not do that command right now, because first of all, there's no one else here. But if I did it in any other channel, and I start selecting people, some people didn't want me to show their usernames or whatever in the videos. I'm not saying who, but that's what they requested, and so I'm gonna respect that. If you want to check how player works, follow through the video and understand how it works, so you know how it works, or so you can test it as well. Anyway, back to if my voice cut out just now, that's because I closed the video too soon, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Now we went with that. You also want your execute. Make sure you have app, interaction, data, and embed. I will go over this, but just put this here. Let embed index equals 0. I'll explain why I have it up there. Just give me time. Now, we want to get player data. So let player equal to data. If player is null, they don't have any data to use that command. Easy enough. Now we need a new value. Guild member equals interaction.member. So this will get the member that made the interaction. Next, if interaction.options.get player, so if this here, so like if the player, so if we do not put a player in, if we just send the normal command, this here will not run, because this is looking to see if we even were able to get the value of player. If there isn't, then that returns false and it will not run. However, if it did get the player, because we put a player in, then it will run this, it will then change the guild member to be interaction.options.getMember player. Because of this, the type, application command option type will be of .user. And I guess it goes without saying, this is everything you'll need. Application command type, select menu builder, action row builder, button style, application command option type, and embed builder. Alright. Next thing, back here, once we get the member that we wanted, we'll then do our player here will equal to app.database, so db.users.find1 guild member.id, and then execute. So that would just change this data to not be our player. So it will not make the data U, it will actually make it of the user you selected. So pretty much, if you want to see what items the other user has in the inventory, just simply do that. You can just do that and you'll be able to see everything in their inventory, I guess. That's the best way I can put it. And if the player does not exist, so if the data for that player, for that user or player doesn't exist, we want to send that reply, this user doesn't have any data, and a period just means we're the only ones that can see it, and then we'll just return the command and not run anymore. Now, okay, if let's say you do not want to add this for your own use, just delete this and delete this, because everything else after is everything will run, needs to run regardless. All of this does is changes the data it will use. That's all it will use. Just make sure you have this and you'll be fine. Oh, these three and you'll be fine. And everything after this. So, just delete that if you don't want other people to view other people's data. But, that's it. Now, we're going to set a title, because we're going to be using this title, and I don't feel like people want to keep typing this the whole fucking time. So, title equals those, the 2 stars, because that's for the Discord formatting, for like bold or something. Then guild member, user, tag, and then inventory. Then embed here, and we're setting that title to there, and then we're adding. You do not put a semicolon here because you want to do .add. We're adding fields, name, select a category in the select menu to be value, categories, material, and this. These are the categories that are available for us to look at that I put for my own thing, and then this tells the player to select a category in select the category in the select menu. I could put below, but I won't. Anyway, so now we want to also make a no item embed, because if the player doesn't have any item within that category that we want to, because it will error if it tries to run everything. This is so that it won't error, and it will tell the player they have no data in that category. Okay, so const no item embed equals to embed builder dot set title, and then no embed. Now what you could do is you could do this, remove that, and do that, because just like we did up here, it would just be this, and I'm just setting it down there. And then you can also do this and this if it makes it, if you think that looks better for you reading it. But that's what that will do. It doesn't matter the other way it worked as well, but there you go. But it'll add, then once it creates a new one and once it sets a title, it'll also add the fields, name, no items, value. You don't have any items from this category. However, I'm going to put it back to the way I had it, just because. Anyway, there we go. That is our no item embed. That is going to be important. Now, we're going to make 2 arrays. Let materials equal to an empty array, and let misc equal to this array. Now, in a for loop. This will be important because this is how we even put data, separate the data that we have into different categories. Alright. So we need a constant key and value within that array. So this we'll get from a map. So the key in a map is pretty much our name of the item, and the value within the map is going to be the amount of that item we have because we're getting it from the inventory in the data in our database. So const key and value of player.inventory. So it will get all the items that we have in our player's inventory from that data, and we're getting the key and value of each of those. Now, if the value within that key is less than or equal to 0, player.inventory.delete key, which is deleting the item name, it will remove that item from the inventory and will not show up in the database or the inventory command. However, if it's greater than 0, so 1 to whatever, const item equals app.items, so it would go into our app, it'll go into .items, it'll then go into this, so it will go to .items right here, and it will access this collection. And we want to get the key right here, which is the item name, so it actually get the value. Oh no, actually it'll get the item, I'm pretty sure. No, actually, yeah, it will get the object, right? Because look, when we go from app, the items, items, .get from this here, because of this creates an object for us, saying this, because we're saying file of item, so we're saying all of these into this singular thing. So that's why we're doing that. So when we want to go to get anything out of this collection, we pass it then the name we want to get. Alright, this name, and it will give us this value, which is then all of this, all the data that we need. And the data that we want, that we're getting, is display name, which will be right here. So once we get this item, we then want to get the name of the item, which is display name. We don't want to get this name, because that will give us the underscore name, the one with the underscore. We want the display name. So yes. Now, let the item string equal to, so this is what we'll output, name. So we have to open up in this string literal using that asterisk. Is that what it's called? Asterisk? I don't know. Using the stars for the Discord formatting. Open this up, put name in there, so it'll give us display name. Put the minus sign or whatever there, and then open it up again to do value. So what that will do is it will put the number of items that we have, there. So again, when you looked at my inventory, you see like the name, that special character, and then like 29 or 31 or 7 or whatever, 13, it will show up there. So that's that value. This is the number, this is the name. Next, if item going from here, dot group, which is this value, right there. So once we get that group, which will be materials, if it equals materials, which it will, we're getting this array and we're pushing this item string into there. Same with MISC. Which is when we'll get this array and we're pushing that item string. Now, let's say you wanted to add a whole different group. So if you want to add a whole different group, you go here, you open this, you do, I don't know, like if you want to do armor or weapons maybe, .json. You want to do any of that, you put that there, you put all the items you want in there. You might have to change this a bit to then get, or you'll have to change this to add all of those items that you put into the new file. You'll put all those items into here, just like I did with this MISC key and these materials. Put all the items into there so that your search command can grab them, put them into your inventory, and then when you run this, you will see. But if you're going to add that new group, you'll have to go into here, go under, if item.group equals, like, I don't know, weapons. Then just do, you also need to do let weapons equals this, right? You'll do that, and then do weapons dot push item string. Alright, that's what you have to do. And then I'll explain later, once I get down here, what you'll have to then do with these if you're going to add a whole new group. Now, we're going to save. We're going to save the data in the player, because now we don't have to fuck with any of the player data. We have the string. We made the strings to paste into the embed using these arrays. We deleted anything that wasn't necessary, that was 0 or below, so now we want to save it. Next, the actual UI of it. So we're going to need to create a select menu row. So make the variable new action row builder dot add components. We're then going to make a new select menu builder. Set the custom ID to select. Set the placeholder to wherever you want. Add options. You'll open up 2 brackets. The label will be materials, so it will show up into Discord. This will be the name. The description, so these will be what the player will see, or the user will see. And this is what the value we will get once the player selects this. So we want to just do that, add that value, make sure it's lowercase. Same with this, label that lowercase. If you're going to add a new category, open it back up, stop it with your fucking shit, I don't need it. Do another label, blah blah blah. Do another description, blah blah blah. Do the value, make sure it's lowercase, blah blah blah. Alright. Next, button row. You will not have to fuck with this. So, button row, new action row builder, add components, new button. So you want to create 2 new buttons. So you'll be new button builder twice. Pretty much copy and paste, and then just switch the values out. So we're saying this ID the back. We're saying the label, which will be shown onto the button, to be this, or 2 less than signs. Then we'll set the style to primary, which is just blue. Then disable true, because we don't want them to immediately be able to click it, because then it would just send an interaction to the API and it won't be able to handle it, because we don't want them to do anything with the buttons yet until they select something from the category. Now, for this one, the second one, just change back to forward, change two less than signs to two greater than signs, keep the style, keep the disabled. There you go. Okay, now our reply. We want to set this reply and make sure you await that reply, interaction.reply. We're sending our primary embed that we sent into this execute. Our components will be that select menu row and this button row. And fetch reply, set it to true so we can grab this reply. Next, we're going to make a filter, because once we get to the collector, we're going to need this filter. So const filter equals x arrow function x.user.id is equal to interaction.member.id. This means that anyone else that tries to mess with our inventory, like buttons or selection, they will not be able to, since they'll only accept input from us. Now, we want to create a collector. So const collector, so constant variable collector reply dot create message component collector. Open that up in parentheses, then brackets, put in the filter, and the time to be, this is 30 seconds, alright? 30 seconds in milliseconds is 30,000. If we were to add another 0, pretty sure that's like, I don't know, because I know this one is a whole minute. There's a whole minute. So maybe adding an extra 0 makes it like, I don't know, 3 hours. I don't really know. I don't care. Maybe like an hour. But anyway, set that 3. That's for 30 seconds. 1 second is 1,000 milliseconds. Just remember that. So if you wanted 30 seconds, since this only accepts milliseconds, well, you can do some special thing, but just know how to calculate milliseconds, because that's important in computer science or any programming really. Just know that 1 second is 1,000 milliseconds. So there you go, 30,000 milliseconds. Anyway, now we'll set 3 embeds: material embeds, misc embeds, and then the current embeds. So this here will be to maintain. So what these here will keep the embeds of the 2 different categories. This will send the output from these, because I tried doing it before without it and it was getting mixed up. I was like, you know what, whatever. Now if you're again doing a whole nother category, let weapon embeds equal to new thing. There you go. Next. God damn it. Don't search. Anyway, next. Now we want to then go back. That's another thing I forgot to mention, but this is why I didn't mention it in the last video. When we go back to utilities, we're going to get app.utilities.enable buttons. And we're sending in this button row. And here's why. So when we go into utilities, I only really showed this, but I also had this right here. So when we go into here, when you go into your utility command, create a new method called enable buttons. The variable we're passing is button menu row. Then for let I equals 0, This is just a basic syntax for loops. So let I equals 0, I less than button row dot component. Oh, button menu row dot components dot length. Since this is an array, then I plus plus button menu row dot components of I dot set disabled to false. Easy enough. Wait a minute. Yeah, right? Did I even do that in here? No, whatever. This is supposed to work because it worked the last time, but for some reason it doesn't like to work whenever the time runs out. I don't know why, but I say it in here in case it might work for someone. I don't really understand, but it doesn't really matter if it's disabled again or not. It really doesn't. Anyway, just don't listen to me. Now, before we get ahead of ourselves, that's that new utility method that we have right there. That's why we use it. Now, we're going to turn the collector on. So the collector, we're going to do dot on, and the event that we're having it is collect. Then do an async with x, parentheses with the x, so that will get each interaction that is made. So it'll collect each of them. Oh, it'll collect the component. So x is the component that will collect, and then it will send to the API to then do what we need to do to handle it. We want to do an arrow function, open brackets. Now we're going to be using switch case here. So switch for x.component type, since when you're sending components, one of the properties is component type, which is useful. Now, I don't know why they do this, but component type, the value of that is represented by numbers. So number 3, when it returns a 3, so once this becomes a 3, it will be the select menu. Once this becomes a 2, it will become a button. I think 1 was action row. So yeah, I don't know why they do that. It's Discord, it's whatever. That's how it is. Now, if the case is 3, which is our select menu, we then want to open here. Make sure you put break at the end of this. We'll then do a whole nother switch, which is then x.values.shift. So it will get everything here. It will get this value. The shift just, I'm pretty sure, removes any white space. I'm pretty sure. But yes. It will get this value. Materials or mix, or if you had a different category, it'll get weapons, if you whatever. So yes, so x.values.shift. In this case, if it was materials, then we'll run this code and we'll break. However, it was this case, it will do misc. Again, if you're doing a different category, god damn it, stop. Case, weapons, and then break, and then just do everything here. So you will end up using your weapon embed array that I showed you right up here, equal to it, to prepare embeds, send. Pretty much you would want to do it this for weapon embed, just like we did here. I might remove that. For anyone that wanted to make a new category, when you have that embed here that I showed you, just pretty much do the same thing we did with here. Just add a new case for weapons, and then use that array to put into here, and to just copy this thing, but change this to weapons embed, change this to weapons embed, so, and change this to weapons from your last array, and change this to weapons as well. So there's that, just like we did with MISC. MISC embeds MISC, right? Just follow that format. This is really all you have to do in each and every one of these things. There is no other way of really doing this. Like, this is the only way I figured it out in a mode, because I hate seeing it that it pretty much repeats like this with everything. But I would try and put it into a function, but then you'll have to fuck with how these are sent and how these are sent, and each and every one in different fucking cases, and not gonna deal with it. It can be done, but if I tried, I would probably blow my brains out, because you have to send in this embed. You will then need to send in this. Oh, that's global, so it doesn't matter, but you will need to send in this, and then you'll have to send in the reply, and then you also have to take into account if the reply, if there's no items in the embed, send this, and then you have to also pass in select menu row, button menu row. Yeah, it's a fucking mess if you're trying to do it. So, but I guess, just so you guys can see my pain. Here. Alright. Function. Yeah, prepare embeds. Let's just say, let's call this, I don't know. No, it's, what do I call it? Send command, no, apply with apply embeds, I guess. Maybe. Damn, fuck. Yeah, it's start thinking, I don't know, fucking, send embeds. Send embed categories. Alright, there. You fucking do that. Then you would just want to then do is put in all this, so we will just want to send in material embed, so we will send in the category embed. We then want to send in the title, the category. We then want to send in the string. We then want to send in the actual, oh, that's that category embed. And then embed index will just be gotten in either way. The current embeds, the reply, the interaction, well, we'll call this menu rows. You see why? Oh, and no way I'm embed. There. This is all you'll have to do. And then we're just gonna fucking copy and paste this, I don't care. Copy that. Go in here. Paste that. Son of a bitch. Just highlight, shift tab. There you go. Make this an async function. And then what we'll do is this here will be considered category embed. That's the title. This here's the category. This here will be the string. Motherfucker. This here is the string. This here is the category embed. We then want to do this for category embed. This here will be actually be getting is up here. There's a reason why, but I'll explain later. Current embed, category embed, reply, await, interaction, edit reply, category embed. This here, this is the annoying part. What? Open this up, select menu row, button menu row, equal to menu rows. There you go. So get these two. Boom, 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 boom. Now technically that should work, I hope. So one way to find out. Take this, comment that out. Take this, comment that out. Go into here, do send them, so function. Send embed categories. So pretty much this here would be material embeds. We then need the title. We then need the category, which was materials. We then want to send the string materials. We then want to do current embed. So it's current embeds. We then want to do our reply. We then want to put in our interaction. We then want to put in our menu rows. So that will be, is that alright? Yeah, so it's brackets. So this, and we want, god damn it. Okay, menu rows, we select menu row and button menu row, correct? Yep. And then, no, I am embed. That's what we'll do. And then the same thing will happen down here. Send embed categories. We wanted to send the MISC embeds. We'll send the title, the MISC, current embeds, reply, interaction, then our menu rows, select menu row, button menu row, and oh yeah, embed. That's what we will have to send. You know, before I continue and fuck it all. No, fuck. God damn it. Okay. Before I better hurry up and test to see if it even fucking works. I'm not gonna show you guys because I'd rather not embarrass myself even more, but it's whatever. So, inventory, send, materials. Yeah, I figured it wouldn't work. Yeah, so if we did it like that, now, I ended up getting an error. Why, huh? Why? Because of this? Where's that at? No, you fucking bitch. No, I don't want all that. Don't want to go in there. Right here. Okay, alright, makes sense, that makes sense. Right, you got a problem from right there. Which I probably know why, but Yeah, because now it's trying to do this. X current embeds reply that because it's not getting something. But again, this is what will happen if I were to use this. Current embed. This embed is probably being empty. So what if I do this? Watch this. I bet you this will fix it. Maybe, boom. No? Probably not. Right, same thing, same issue. So what is action not getting? Okay. But yeah, so you can fuck around with this all you want. I don't care. Do whatever you want. I'm not doing it. I tried doing it like this, sorta. But just so you can show me before you yell at my face, yeah, just make a new function and whatever. This is the issue that you have because it's trying to send something. It can't change the embed here from action. Do this. Like, this is all. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I don't really remember either way, but yeah, that's what happens. And it's not like I can really do anything about it. It just doesn't work, but it works whenever you do have all this shit already there. So yes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this. I'm going to then remove this. It's a nice attempt, but I don't feel like trying to figure it out. It's too much work. Besides, if I was really worried about this, I would have done it before I recorded this video. But anyway, so now, after I tried doing that, showing you guys if you were going to try to do that, it probably won't work unless you fucked with it around for a bit. But yeah, so now, back to what we were doing. So values at shift, in the case of materials, get the material embed up here. Again, do all this, like I said, with the weapons. If you're going to create a whole new category, just copy this whole format. That's all you gotta do. So weapons embed, prepare embeds. We're sending in the title, we're sending in the materials array, we're then sending in the string materials, and we're sending in the array material embeds. However, if material embeds dot length is not equal to 0, then we'll run this. So our embed index equals 0. Now there's a reason why I put this up here, because we will want to save this globally so we can use it within these different because right here is where we're using it. This action part is actually switching between pages. Alright, so and I needed a way to send this to be also used within here to reset it so that it starts back at the first page of each of these categories, which is why I put it up there. Same thing with current embeds. We are making it empty and then we are setting it to material embeds, or for this one down here you would just set it to misc embeds. You would then do the same thing here, you would then do the same thing here with what we did here, and the same thing here with what we did here, but with this array, just prepare embeds, send in title, send in the misc embed, which will have all the strings, send in misc, send in that value right here, and that will set that to the new arrays, or to the new embeds. Anyway, our reply here, we're going to edit the reply and do embeds, material embeds of 0, which is again the first item in the array. So technically we can just do embed index instead of hard coding it. Do here, do embed index, which is still 0. So whenever this runs, this will return that to 0, then we'll use that for there. But yeah, so it'll go into this array, it'll get the first value, which is the first embed, and then it'll also send these components, and then making the fetch reply. Next, however, if this does equal 0, because we don't have any items in that, if we don't have any items of that category at all, we also want to do this else. To be reply, interaction, edit reply, embeds, no item embed, then send these components as well, fetch, and reply, true. Alright, so after we then want to break. Now for same thing with misc, just do the same thing we did up here. Just put it down here, make sure it's misc embed, make sure you bring in the misc array, make sure the string is misc, make sure you're adding the misc embeds. These are the same, just make sure current embed equals to misc embed. Make sure when you send the reply that you're doing misc embed index, then the components, fetch reply. This here is literally the same thing. Now, and just break from that. And again, every other category, follow that format. Now, after we break from that, from case 3, we're going to go into case 2. So if that's a button, want to do action, so we're passing in our component, the current embeds, the reply, the interaction, select menu row, and button menu row. And we're then on break. And before I get into what this does, for now, go here, await X, which is our component, the update, and update these two components so that you don't get the interaction failed. Then collector.on, end, async, brackets open, arrow function, button menu row, select menu row, dot components, dot map, x, arrow functions, x dot set disable to true. There you go. Then await interaction to follow up. You ran out of time. Alright, now we're going to be going into the functions of this one, and we're going to go into the functions of this one. Alright, so give me one moment before I go into that to get a drink. Hello everyone. So before I even continue, I was testing out with this again, and it works, kinda. So pretty much put current embeds up here, so don't put it there. This scanner here can be deleted. Same with this. Send embed categories, send your embeds, the titles, the embeds with the strings, the string of the category, the reply, the interaction that we need, our menus, and then no IAM embed. And I've already explained all of this except for this and the in that prepare command. But anyway, I sent back this. As you can see, I also removed the current embedded variable because now we're using the actual embed up here to then use for all this, and this does work. This does work. However, I feel like it just here. I'll just show you. Okay, so here's the Discord. This is after I changed it. So I feel like it has some issues trying to switch between them and not sending the right. I should probably turn the bot on. Come on. Nothing. No dot. Anyway, when we do inventory, select menu, click mushroom, click rock, click blue mushroom, rock, blue mushroom. Now, you try to click it fast, like this, it will work, but you'll end up having issues. But yeah. And then if you switch to MISC, that also works. Switch into materials, and there. See, it works. It works as it needs to. So, there. I got it working. Now you guys have much simpler code to work with. So let's go back to the code. Alright, so now that I've already explained this, just make sure you just remove the variable current embeds and just keep that there. I've already told you, put the thing up there, put in these values, and there you go. That made it less, that made it much better in terms of we don't have to copy it because it's right here and we just gotta do it once. But yeah, so again, the best thing you want to do when it comes to anything like this is you want to try and remove anything that looks like a copy like this. So again, I could do a function with this to make sure I send in these rows, and I would just send in like 2 functions. But either way, you won't go into completely no copy, because if you think about it, this all here is essentially the same copy as this, and this is essentially the same thing. Just displays different data. So you won't go fully, but if you can put like something that looks the same like this was, and you can just put it into a function and have it, that's like a lot of code. That's like a lot of lines. That's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 lines of code you don't have to copy, because those 10 lines that is needed to run for each of them is in here. So you essentially just saved yourself 18 lines right here. But yeah, that's stuff you want to keep seeing and seeing how you can fix. But yeah, so just do that. That's the new way. You might have to be a bit for you to put it all down, but there you go. I did not change anything down here, don't worry. Just everything in this section and that function. Alright? Now, prepare embeds. This is one that is required right here. So we need the title, the IAM category, the string, and the embeds. So we're saying category, we're saying group, saying category to IAM category, group to the string, which would be this here, and then embeds will equal to an empty embed. Create embeds, we're sending in the title, the category, and the group, and then embeds. and then we're returning embeds into category embeds to then be used for the rest of this. Next, create embeds. Shut up, Nevaeh. I know that another dog barked and you have your hair freaking sticking up, but calm down. Anyway, functions. Create embeds. We're sending in the title, the category, the group, and the embed. So we have account and we have index. For I, should probably do let I equals 0. I less than category.length, which is an array, as you can see from right up here. When we're sending in that category, I++. If I is equal to, now this is my brain thinking on how I could do this, because I needed to send everything. I needed to put in a maximum of 4 fields into an embed, and then once it does, I want to then switch to another embed. So if I equals 0 plus count, alright, we will then let an embed equal to a new embed with the title, and then we're going to push that newly made embed into our embeds array. And then we want to do is set this count to be count, which is 0 currently, plus 4. This will then, so once this does that, once this becomes 4, this code will not run until it hits 4. Alright, so once it becomes 4, once I equals 4, which would then technically be 5, but whatever, because it's going from 0 to 4. So that 0 to 3 will go here and put in 4 values, and then that 4 will trigger this to then create another embed, and then it will add the count another 4. So 4 plus 4, that will be 8. So now we have to wait till I equals 8. And it all depends on the length of the category, which is pretty much every item in that category that you have, it will then do. So go through every item until you have it. Every 4 items will go into every 5 items technically will go into a new array, or to a new embed. But yeah, so we'll send the embed or count equals count plus 4. If the count equals 4, this is where the index part comes in. If the count equals 4, so once this runs its first time and the count equals 4, we're setting the index to be 0. Other than that, if the count does not equal 4, so if the count equals 8, this will be added by 1. Since this here will only run until I equals 4, that would then mean count will be 8. This one will turn up to 1, meaning the index will be increased by 1 for every time count gets added by 4. Now I'll explain why we do that. So now underneath that, we're going to do if I is less than count. We then want to do embeds. So our array, we're going to grab the current embed, which is index, which will be 0, which is the first embed that we make. So pretty much what this means is every 4, so once that equals 4, index equals 0, so when we go down here, there will already be a new embed which is the first embed, and this will grab that. And then once this runs again, count will equal 8. There will be a second embed that is in the array, and I will instead be of 1, so that when we go down here, embeds, it will get the second embed, which is our newly created embed that when this ran, to then edit. And then this here will also increase, making I still less than count, causing this to run. So, embeds index.add fields, we're going to give the name, which is pretty much the title. We're going to give it to category of I, so that will be the name. That's technically the whole string. Put the value of the group, which means it will be like materials. So when you saw mine, it was the whole string, which is where this is, of I, since I pretty much correlates to how many items are in the category. But category I, so that's the whole string, the key, the name of the item, the special character, and the value. And then in here, for the little part, we're putting the group to display what category that belongs to. And there you go. And that's all you do right there. That will keep running until it makes so many embeds, and that's it. So it can have up to like 2 embeds, 3 embeds, 4 embeds, depends how many unique materials you have. And there you go. So that's the logic behind it. It was confusing trying to figure it out, but there it is. I got it working. Next, we'll be going into here, since we got prepared embeds done and everything, and create embeds done. And then want to do action. So action is where we do our pages. This is the final part, and this is where we do pages. So we'll make a new function action. We're sending in our component, which was in this up here was X. The current embeds, our reply, our interaction, and our rows, meaning our select and button menu rows. So now we just gotta set these as variables to equal them, to equal to the rows, to whatever we pass in here, which would be this. Should be this. And then we're doing our switch. So component.customID. So it'll take the component and we'll find the custom ID, whatever this will only run if the component is a button. So if the custom ID equals back, we're going to do some little math. So if the embed index, which is the one at the way top of this whole file, since it's global, equals 0. If it equals 0, we're saying that, so pretty much the first page, we're going to need to get the last page. So if we're at the first page and we're trying to go back, we want to get the last page. So embed index equals embeds.length, which will get the total length of the whole array, and then we want to get the index, so we just minus it by 1 to the end, get a value from 0 to embeds.length minus 1. And when we send this into here, it will get the last embed in our array. Next, else, if it doesn't equal 0, then embed the index equals embed index minus 1, meaning we're just going back 1. We just want to go back to the previous array, or previous value. Now we're going to break, then case, if it equals forward, if the custom ID equals forward, if embed index equals embeds.length minus 1. In other words, if embed index equals the last page, just like we did here. If it equals the last page, we're just reversing this. We just want to set the embedded index equal to 0, which means it will get the first page. And then for else, if it does not equal to the last page, we then want to just do embed index equals embed index plus 1, the opposite of this. And that's it for that. And then we want to break. And then right here for reply, this will send the next page or the previous page, depending on which one we want, but we want to do interaction, await interaction, at reply. The embeds, we want to send embeds. So in the embeds part of this whole message component, we're going to send in embeds, embed index, which means whatever that index is, it will send in that value from 0 to whatever we need. The components, select menu row, just in case people want to change the category, and button menu row, and then fetch reply to true. The only time, so after that, it will then just go back up to this collector once it gets another component. So once it gets another forward, once it gets another back, once it gets another select menu, it will then run through all this all over again, over and over and over until 30 seconds have elapsed, and then it will send this, which will be our out of time thing. And that's pretty much it. That is more complicated than you probably know, but it's there. That's how you do it with pages. That's how you do it with categories. I even show you how to really do it with a different category, but you know what? I might as well do it with you right now. So right now we're going to add in another category. So I'm going to go to items, and we're just going to put in a new category, and we're going to call it, don't really want to do weapons. So let's just do books, maybe? No. Materials, miscellaneous. I guess we could do books. However, books.json. Alright. Put in a bracket. But this, we're going to give it a name, so we're pretty much following the same format as all of this. So we pretty much want to do letter from a, we'll just do, letter, open it up. Actually, no, let's just do adventurers, no, Jesus fuck. Yeah, it can be capitalized, right? Yeah, okay. Adventure journal. I hope I spelled that right. Category. Oops. There. We're just going to add one item. Just like we did here. Category. Materials. Misc. Books. And then. Alright. And then in JSONs, we're going to go ahead and add that. Name, adventures, adventures journal with the category of books. There we go. So now, with that into there, we then have this working. So now we can get that item. Anyway, now we have to go into here, and we just have to change this up. So we want to go into here, do let books equals to a new array. We then want to go into here, if item.group equals to books. We then want to do books.push item string semicolon. Then we want to go down to here, right here, and make a material let books embeds equals this. We'll then need to make a new case for books. Oh, we also need to do a new thing here. So label books, description shows books in your inventory, value books. Don't forget your colons there. And now if it equals books, break, send embed categories. We want to send in books embed. We'll send in the title, the actual category, so books, the string, capital B books, reply, the interaction, the menu rows, select menu row, button menu row, and no item embed. So once we do that, we then want to go no. Yeah, that will do it. We don't have to mess with anything else because everything else should be automatic, no matter what we send in. And there, that's how you add a whole new category. So let's go turn this on and go into Discord to find out. Alright, we're back in Discord for the last time, and now we gotta get that book. So gotta get the journal or whatever. Mushroom. Key. Herb. I don't even know it's going to get the journal, so. Rock. Moss. Come on. Come on. No. You're one off. No. There, Adventure Journal. Okay, now, as you can see, I use the search command. This is what will send. You search the area and collected a item, and then finally the Adventure Journal that we got. Anyway, now we got inventory. Bro, what the fuck? Oh shit. Can't read proper display name, why can't you? Bruh. Motherfucker. Oh. We're going to. I think I know why. Books. So I put that incorrectly. Oh, okay, there's a problem. Alright. So let me show you. Okay, so the issue is this. I had an S here. You don't put an S there. That's why. That's what happened. Okay. So now let's just restart the bot and go hurry up back into Discord quick. Alright, finally, back in Discord. Should now send the command. Or fucking not. I saved it. Did I even spell it right? You know what? I'm just gonna copy paste it. Make sure I did. Because this should work. It's not really the item, it's just this. Like materials has a key, category, misc, books, materials. Yeah, this shouldn't really have any issues. So I don't understand why you're doing this. Why can't it ever be easy for me? Give me one moment. Okay, so I figured it out. It's because I still have the actual what I don't know what I should call it. I still have the bot, or I still have the item in the inventory. God damn it, MongoDB. Open. Sign in. Google. What are you signing as? I think what you sign in as this. Log out. Google. This one. Come on. Log in. This one. Browse collections. Users. Me. Inventory. Remove. Update. Okay, there we go. So now, if I just simply do search again, is the bot even on? Yeah, it is. Okay, let me just restart the bot. Okay, now this should work because all the names are correct. Make sure you make the names correct, because if you don't, then you're gonna end up with that issue that I just said. All names of your items must be exactly the same way you spelled it. So come on, key, rock, herb, my blue thing, stick. Come on, there we go. Adventure journal. Now, if I do inventory, as you can see, it worked. Now, as you see, books. So we're just going to go to materials. We have this. Move it. There. Go. Oh, god damn you. There. Misc. Books. As you can see, that made a whole new Adventures Journal. Books. And then if we go to MISC, we go back to materials, and I'm out of time. So as you can see, you can add new categories just like that. Make sure everything's named, or you're gonna run into the fucking issue I had. But there you go. Very easy to add, very easy to do. Just go through that process, and it's just that easy. You don't have to just create just create a new category file. New category file. Edit the item list to then get the item for your search command for testing purposes. And then the inventory, you just gotta make like 2 different arrays. Another label for the select menu, and then making like 1 case to then for that value to get this value. But yeah, it's not too hard. I showed you, it's just a couple lines. But yeah, anyway, that's it. This is an hour fucking long already. Oh my god. But yeah, I'm probably gonna either go to bed or do something. So see ya.